Crypto market is brutal. Only the hardcore investors survive here. If you look at the baseline, yeah, the price did drop. Agreed. But where did buyers come in? Where did the sellers max out? These kind of gives you an idea if we are making a local bottom like this, the double bottom, and are we about to start moving higher? Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Right now, you're watching the fact that you have a rounded bottom, you have a trend line which is slowly increasing its momentum, and that's on a daily chart of Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin giving you the idea that 68,900 or say 69,000 is a support is a huge thing because you're watching the micro and the macro now starting to align. So as soon as we started developing the negative divergence, I told you guys, watch on a daily, you do have something. Now we came back to the support. 1, 2, look at how the price action is reacting at that support. I mean, that in itself is important. The wick to the upside came close to 71,500, and at the downside, it was lower, right? It was smaller. Now, that is trying to create an inverted hammer. So when you actually go on a 3-day chart, we got a 3-day candle close as well, which retraced back to this level. Here, such a level is very important because it is now holding on to the resistance turned support. So now look at the altcoin side of the equation. You came back, for sure, the price dropped, but you dropped back to the support. And that support has been there for a couple of months. You're not breaking that. 2, the resistance is still here. So you are inside a pattern which is now trying to see if it can attract more buyers. So the common thing, the easy part for you would be looking at this. You got a double bottom structure before it bounced. You got another double bottom structure here in October before it bounced. Now, are we going to create that double bottom structure before we bounce off? So Ether on a 12-hour chart is giving you the idea 2400 is kind of that support, and we already reached close to that level. Now, pull it on back up to the daily. Look at that doji. I mean, daily candle close on Ether looks like a massive doji. And look at the volume. That gives you all you need to know. When you zoom in, you kind of get to see the volume, the selling volume. It was heavy, but those sellers failed to do something. What? To break this support. Which kind of gives you an idea that, okay, fine, there was sellers for sure, but buyers are strong. Someone is starting to accumulate more. So now it is necessary for us to go on to a weekly and look at how things are evolving. Because we are still below the moving average, it kind of creates some uncertainty. Because we are just above this trend line, it says, okay, we may come back down to the trend line and bounce off. So that's 2300 to 2400. So the micro and the macro kind of aligns itself very well. And when you actually take that equation and bring it into the crypto market, the total crypto market, or total altcoin market, it kind of gives you the idea we're above the moving average. So the assets, crypto assets, which are now above the moving average with a bit of measured move, say around 5%, 10% up, it is going to up run the market. right? It's going to actually follow it and it's going to give you more ROI. The ones which are way below that trend line is still uncertain. Now you pull up XRP and look at the same 3-day chart. You now know what I meant. The moving average is here, the price is here, 6% down. So we are still waiting for a turnaround day. Now we go into a different category. Say, okay, from payments, we'll jump back into Cardano, which is smart contracts. It is breaking back above the moving average. That is a good signal. Now, in this, you already saw the equation. The price was dropping, and then suddenly it came back up. Now, we are not breaking to the downside, so the trend has been broken. So the smart contract side of the equation is now starting to give you the idea, yeah, I'm starting to get more liquidity. I am about to slowly go back up. Not 100x move from here. It is going to be an accumulation zone. It is going to be a choppy move to the upside. You will most likely watch this as a trend line formation. Now, we may actually get to see that very quickly here with such a move. So Cardano showing you that is important. Say you are still interested in the memcoin side of the equation, you can pull up any one from that side. It is also above the moving average, but the price has been dropping. The most recent move there is a drop in the price. So now you actually come into the price structure. Look at what's happening there. It was trending lower for sure without any doubt. And suddenly it started saying, no, I'm not making lower lows. I'm trying to make higher highs. And it started doing this, which is a trend line formation or creating higher lows. So you now have a higher high and a higher low in that equation. So when you put it on a macro, yeah, you'll have to agree there was a trend line which is now broken. There is another continuation pattern which is forming. So that looks okay. Say you go on to a large cap memcoin, you pull up Doge. What do you see? I mean, these are clear indicators which the market gives you. We were trending lower. All of a sudden that changed. Then you came down to make a higher low instead of a lower low. Then you went back up, putting in a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, most likely here. Which, if you put it on a line chart, is textbook pattern. You're doing the 1, the 2, the 3. That is what you actually want to see in the market. And it then stays choppy there before a pop. Right? Now put that on a macro, like a weekly chart or so on. And then look at this. It kind of gives you an easy idea, which is, okay, what to expect further. Look at the RSI. Where are we now? Right? It's going towards the overbought territory. That's where you get to see minimal sellers or maximum buyers. Keep the idea like that. A lot of people would actually give you the idea it's overbought, get out. But it will go the other way. Now, come back here in the Bitcoin side of the equation because that would be more important for us now. Now, zoom in on a 4-hour. What do you see? I mean, what can you actually expect in Bitcoin? Most likely what Bitcoin is going to do based on what we can see here is a bounce off. Maybe it's going to test just 71,800 level, or maybe it's going to test this trend line, which is also again close to that, 71,600. But remember, in any case, that kind of a bounce, which the price action or the candlesticks show you, respect the trend line formation there. Respect the idea that the momentum is increasing. You see the trend angle increasing? That's what I'm talking about. So once you understand short term is slowly starting to bounce back, and these are micro corrections, now we look for the volume. Okay, there was a lot of selling volume, which was like a huge selling volume compared to what you had before. But that failed to break the support. Okay, now a little bit of buying came in and they are holding above the previous red candle. So sellers are not getting the momentum which they want, and buyers, even though it looks like choppy waters, they're strong. Now put that onto a weekly chart and look at the price action, guys. The weekly has not yet closed and you're still here, which is actually a good sign. So you had a breakout, clear, you retested that, you're trying to bounce off. These are clear indications of which direction this is going because of the MACD cross, because of the RSI. Every indicator shows you have upside. It really was the daily which was showing us there can be a correction. Now we're waiting for the same daily to show us the opposite. We're still waiting. We'll need 2 to 3 more candle closes to confirm that. But understand, this is the market. If you go on a short-term chart on the total altcoin side of the equation, this is what you're watching. The price did drop, but the price dropped to this point. It is forming a trend. So most likely what you're going to see is a bounce off from here to test the $640 billion mark. Say you want to see whether it's just going to follow Bitcoin or it's going to break away from Bitcoin. On a micro, it is now looking like this, right? And this move was that time where your altcoins did very well, right? You zoom out, you'll see the next one. Before that, this was the time when your alts did good. Before that, this was the time where your alts did good. Fine? Now you get the point. Now look at this. Price action in the Bitcoin dominance is starting to show. Again, micro. So it is not going to last forever. Just measure these moves were limited. 4 days, your altcoins did very well. Here, 6 days, your altcoins performed very well. Here, 13 days, your altcoins performed very well. Again, before that, so if you're picking the average, you can say around a week, altcoin may actually start doing better when it actually corrects back down to a lower point. Now put that on a higher time frame, which means, okay, if that's happening on a micro, what would macro mean? It definitely looks like we've been extended to the upside on a daily, on a 12-hour. You can see what I'm talking about. You just saw, woo, like a ladder, right? You got extended to the upside. Now, you put that on a 3-day chart to see if all of those ideas matter, if all of those ideas are still valid. And then you get to see, we're kind of very close to a macro trend line. We already broke this micro to medium term. So you're like, okay, that was a rising wedge, which is breaking to the upside. If it breaks the standard deviation, that's crazy. You're popping through the sky. A lot of altcoins are about to go bankrupt. But now, at that top, you're starting to form a doji. The very next candle is going to confirm whether that's a fake out or it's a reversal. So you have what? The November. And November is important. Yeah, that's red, green mixed up. But whenever the September and October ended up green, you can see either it was very minimal in red or it was green. See? And that's the majority of times. You get to see that. So odds are slowly tilting. And you're also watching how XRP is getting fundamental news. And I'm like, whoa, that asset is getting crazy fundamental news here. You're looking through everything, how the market is moving. And then you come back here to look at the price action. You're like, we're holding a support. On a macro, at least on a weekly, there's what you're doing. You're still below the moving average. You're breaking one of the key support, which I really don't want to see break. Because if you do, next level of support is here, right? So you don't want that to break. Then you have a trend line here, which you don't want to fake out. So all of these factors remains. So while Bitcoin do this micro bounce back, there would be few coins, altcoins performing. Try to use that while you still wait. So SI family gives you the idea of which coins are bursting, where the opportunities are, and if you want to do the copy trade, if you want to do the one-on-one session, you have everything allocated here in this link. If you want to get in, it's in the description below. So guys, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.